Hello, everybody. I'm Caitlin Shanks, and I'm here with the lovely Anna Hockett, and we're so excited to bring you another episode of Two Blondes and a Printer, a podcast sponsored by Rackham, your technology partner in all things print and digital communications. In this podcast, we talk about everything from customer communications, technology, data, customer experience, direct mail, the list goes on, and of course, our favorite thing, the sexy side of print. So Anna, what are we talking about today?
I am so excited. We have Deborah Corn in the house today, everybody. This guest needs no introduction. However, I am going to try my best, but I have to read this. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm reading it right now. She is the intergalactic ambassador to the Printiverse at Print Media Center, a print buyerologist trademark, international industry speaker and blogger, host of podcasts from the Printiverse, creator of Project Peacock, Project Peacock TV, founder of International Print Day, Print Across America, Print Across the Planet, Elevate Print, and hashtag Print Life, cultivator of the Print Production Professionals Group, the largest print-related group on LinkedIn, and girl number one at girlswhoprint.net. I don't know what else she could possibly do, but this is so exciting for us. Deborah Corn, welcome to Two Blondes and a Printer. We are so happy to have you today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to speak with you guys today.
What did I miss on your introduction? I don't know if I could have said any more.
Nothing. You actually covered it. I would just expand a little on Girls Who Print if you give me a second. It's the largest network of women in the printing industry. We have almost 11,000 members. We have a free mentoring program. We are now starting up regions. So we have a European region, region in Africa. There's one in Japan that is brewing, and of course, United States and global. We're already covering girlswhoprint.net, as you said, is the website. It's free. We have a women-only LinkedIn group. So all you girls who print out there, and please join us. It would be awesome. And thank you so much for giving me the time to share about that.
Of course. No, thank you so much. And one other thing that I didn't even tell you that I was going to talk about really quick today is I just have to tell you, I sat on, right when I joined Rackham, I sat on one of a webinar that you were a guest on, and something that really inspired me. And like I said, we didn't really put this in the outline, but something that really inspired me about you that I need to tell you is your authenticity and the way of which you speak. And, women, man, whatever. I think you're a really, really special person and someone that has inspired me a lot in the last, I've been at Rackham for about 8 or 9 months now. So I just wanted to share with you that you've definitely touched my life even without knowing it. So
wow, that is really kind of you to say, and I truly appreciate that. You guys know as content creators that you create content, you put it out in the world, and it takes on its own life. But you only really understand that it maybe has helped somebody or changed the way they thought of something or inspired them in some manner when you get the feedback. So I just want to tell you, I really appreciate that. And I'm grateful that you absorbed what I was putting out. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, in more ways than one. So I needed to tell you that, and
thank you.
We could do a whole podcast just on that and building your personal brand.
Why don't we just leave it now? Like shut us down now with that compliment.
Drop the mic and say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. What she said. Bye.
No, that's just so that's my little deal. But Caitlin, what do you think we should chat about today with Deborah? There's so many things. Like I said, we could have a whole podcast just on building your own personal brand and true authenticity in your career. But I think we're going to talk a little bit more about communications, right, Kate?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, in today's changing landscape, the customers are changing that are out there. Everyone is so focused on customer experience. It is table stakes. Imagine if you walked in or ordered a pizza online at Domino's and they didn't have the Domino's tracker. You'd be like, well, what are we doing here, folks? Like, I need to know exactly when my pizza is going in the oven. I need to know exactly who's making it. And I want to see that car deliver it to my house on the app. And, I think that's now becoming just table stakes. People expect that. And so, how do we, as people in the print and mail industry, take that feedback from our customer base and start to absorb that so that we can meet those changing customer expectations? And I think if we talk a little bit about that, we're off to the races. What do you guys think?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And Caitlin, you might be too young to remember this, but back in the day, when you ordered pizzas, you'd have to go pick them up. So you had no idea what was going on. And sometimes your dad would go pick it up and you'd be waiting at home for an hour and a half because your dad, they weren't ready yet and no one knew. And you're eating chips and salsa by yourself in your kitchen, just waiting for your dad to get back with the pizza. So to your point, now, yes, we are in a very different, we're in a very different world. Something that we talk about on the podcast all the time is people saying print is dead, print is dead. It's not dead. And instead it's an industry where people are still being able to use it in conjunction with the different technology that's out there. So, I'm totally into that conversation. Deborah, what do you think about when Caitlin was just saying, the different changes in the expectations of our customers today?
Well, first, I'd like to say that some print is dead and it should be dead. And if it's not dead, I hope it's dying and it goes away because it's those type of antiquated applications and processes and presses and with traditional capabilities that might not really be meeting the needs of the market anymore, that I think is where this perception of print comes as this old-timey thing. It's very akin to watching a movie and seeing this old guy in overalls covered with ink going, "Stop the presses." We've seen it a million times. And there's no reason that a regular person on the street would think anything differently about the printing industry. They might walk into a print shop and order a business card or a poster or a banner for an event, but they're not going in the back. They're not seeing the technology. They don't understand how many people are involved in making sure that they can pick a certain size for a business card or a certain finishing from an online portal to the point of customer convenience. This is the way we all live now. And the printing industry needs to meet that moment, if not drive it forward in more ways, And that's how I got involved, even with speaking with Matt Mahoney from Rackham, because you guys were investing in the user experience of customers. Now, yes, of course, printers and your customers have user experiences with your company, but together you are trying to ensure that the print customers, the people buying print, have the smoothest experience possible in the most touch points as possible. That is customer convenience. Do I have to speak to somebody? What if I don't want to speak to somebody? What if you're offering all this different type of printing to me, but are you defining it? How is a florist supposed to know the difference between a sheet with aqueous coating and a sheet with glossy coating, or adding a finish to something, or doing something with personalization, or what's all involved in that? So it's not just about making things faster. It's about making things work for the way the world works now. And it's super important, at least in my opinion, that's where, when we talk about the future of the printing industry, great. You want to talk about, you made a new press that goes faster and it's a different size. Wonderful. Who the hell are you selling that print to? If we do not start addressing the perception of it and the experience, of it, not just the end experience of receiving the piece, but the process.
I'm just like, I'm going to use this for the rest of my life. The whole, some print should be dead. Some print should be dying, because I'm, and I'm in sales. So, we come up with certain things that we said, that we say as far as print isn't dead because it's this huge industry and blah, blah, blah. But you're so correct about some print should be dead, and because it's not done the right way, and it's not consumed the right way, or
correct.
Because and that kind of print is boring, Caitlin. That's not sexy. That's not the type of stuff.
And it's not efficient, and it's not effective, and it's not cost. When someone says, "What is the ROI of this?" and you don't have an answer, then you're not doing it right.
Right, absolutely. And it's for a consumer base that doesn't exist anymore. Is the other thing. Like your customers just aren't there anymore. You have to pivot for the customers who are there. And then you also have to project out, what are my customers going to want in 3 to 5 years that they don't even know they want right now? How do I get them on that path to provide that extra value, that extra education, how am I going to help you get your business from here to here? And help guide them on that path. And I think that's how you create customer stickiness, customer loyalty, and you preserve that revenue that print shops all over America are trying to squeeze every last dollar out of because of how much consolidation there is in the market. So every little thing that you can do to keep your print from not being the print that has to be dead is important right now.
Exactly. We've talked about this a little bit before, and now I'm even more like in tune with it since our first conversation, Deborah, of like going to the act of going to the mailbox and receiving different types of materials, whether it is a bill or a statement, which also, like, now I'm noticing too, the people that are doing it right are putting different messaging on these bills or statements so that it's a memorable experience instead of just, oh, this is what my balance is, because they know, they know that the different type of messaging could be really, really important to keep the customer happy or to keep the customer using their brand or their product or service. And something that we talked about was I'm getting these Viking cruise flyers in my mailbox every day. But you know what I do every single day when I get one? I go and I look them up online. So they're doing their job. They're getting, and I can promise you in the next year, I will book one of these damn Viking cruises and I will report back on how great it is. But it's these catalogs, they gotta be expensive to print, but it's making me do exactly what they want me to do, which is go to their website and research these different experiences or these different, voyages that they have. And that's where they're doing it right. They're getting me to do exactly what they want to do. So Deborah, I know you have tons of thoughts on this as far as, what people are doing moving forward, or what the ones that are crushing it, what the ones that aren't going to be dead soon, what's going on there?
Well, I want to just go back to your point for 1 second and say that the reason why you are interacting or engaging with those direct mail communications about your cruise, obviously they know you're interested in it. You've been on their site and you've opted in somehow to receive their information, but you aren't afraid of using that print as a digital bridge to go onto the internet versus I get an email with links in it, or I see a banner ad pop up in front of my screen because I've been on the site. Right now, more than likely, because you have been on their site, you might be in a safe system to click on that banner ad. You can assume, but you're still assuming. But the email situation, the random emails, the prospecting through that, even social media, is a dangerous proposition right now. And what print offers is security, peace of mind. And this actually happened to me. I'm going to admit that I clicked on an email that I thought was from my bank, and it wasn't, after I had done at least 7 minutes of forensic detective work on the email. But it was so good, they got me. And when I immediately went to Norton and I cleaned, I was panicking because I never do anything like that. We have a rule in my family: call, don't click. And they all call me and I tell them whether they can do anything with emails and things like that. And so I found out also I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to files. So it was taking quite a long time for Norton to clean my computer. And as a punishment, I made myself sit at my desk and watch that wheel spin and say, you deserve this because you clicked on a link. But while I was sitting there, I really had this epiphany that had that communication about a low balance or whatever that actually motivated me to find out what was going on, come as a QR code in my email box or as a not even a text. Can't trust those anymore. I'm getting texts from the United States Post Office, fake texts
all the time from the US.
That's from a hack. That's from a hack. They got us all, and so our phone numbers are being spoofed about packages and things like that right now. But had I received any of that information, even in a letter form with a link or I would not have given it a second thought. So the relationship you're currently having with Viking Cruises is moving forward because there's been no breach of trust. The messages are relevant to you. They obviously know that you're looking for a cruise, so they're sending you different options. That if every business is not involved in that sort of engagement throughout your journey and making me feel safe to communicate with you, to receive your emails, to click on links, then, we go back to, okay, well, maybe 3-4 more years and then get out of our way, because you're not helping the future of the industry. You're not helping the future of small businesses or brands of any size. And you're certainly not helping the world of communications move forward in an effective and efficient manner.
Yeah, I was just reading an article. 76% of people who took this survey, this is on printing impressions, they agree that physical mail pieces, physical ads are trustworthy. So,
because you spend money on it.
You spend money on it. There's no phishing going on in the background, or at least they haven't figured that out yet. Knock on wood. And I just think that we're going to see such a huge rise. We're already seeing it in variable data, personalized direct mail, and businesses are capitalizing on this moment in time where everyone is scared and there's no more trust left in, some of these digital communications. And I'm not saying all digital communications, to be wary of, because there are things that you can do to keep those more secure. But I just don't think the consumer trust is there, or at least not 76% there.
100%. You're going to, for the most part, those links from my bank, unfortunately, had all their branding on. I mean, it was, when I tell you, it was really good. It was really good that it got me. I mean, I don't click on anything. Some printer, I got an email from a printer yesterday and it was like, hey Deb, we put this PDF in a Dropbox for you. And I wrote the guy back and I'm like, dude, the chances of me clicking on this link and going to a Dropbox are 0. If you actually want me to have whatever this is, send it to me. And he's like, I was hacked. I'm like, there you go. But the point is that I'm super sensitive to it now because it happened to me and I'm not clicking on anything. And I work in the industry. So we're not really talking to me. We're talking to the regular people out there that we're trying to educate, communicate, market to, make sales from, and keep them engaged throughout their journey in a meaningful way to them, which requires more effort, requires some information that you need to to get about your customers, or extrapolate from patterns you see that, of them coming into your store, or the online traffic and things like that. And then where I think print has the best opportunity now is to look at how those, I'm just going to say, I always say start where you live, right? Start locally. What, if you're a printer out there, what is coming through your mailbox? And look at it. What is missing on that print? Do they not have a digital bridge to the web? Are they not standing out because every other car dealer is using specialty finishing or something? And if you bring that to that company and say, look, we can help you add a QR code to this without speaking about the printing, because they're already doing the printing, right? But at a certain point, that customer is going to say, well, if you can also do the printing, and you've come to me with a way for me to make these people feel safe, start a digital relationship with me, start a communication channel with me, however I prefer to get communicated with by the company, what do I need the other person for? That also gets you out of the conversation of, well, they're a penny less a sheet.
Right, the race to the bottom, because I think it's all about, and I mean, I've come from a technology background, so not in print as of, the last year. And it was all about becoming that trusted advisor, because technology is so big. Going to the cloud is such a huge undertaking, and it's scary, and people don't know what they don't know. And that's tech. All right, everyone gets it. You want to be a trusted advisor, blah, blah, blah. But coming into print, I think there's this really exciting opportunity for print shops who didn't used to have to be in that mindset. And they were just taking orders. They were printing stuff out. Life was good. All right, well, let's pivot. All of these print shops, everyone that I've met who's in the print industry has been in the print industry for years, if not decades. There is so much knowledge there that I think you can really turn it around, sprinkle in some of these new trends, some of these new techniques to gain customers, gain trust, make that bridge to digital, and the value that those customers will get from your thought leadership, they're never going to leave. And they're just going to grow their business with you and make that jump into digital with you. So they might be printing less, your physical production might be declining a bit, but your revenue is increasing because you're still bringing that value, you're bringing new products, and you're creating a client experience that is sticky.
If I may, I want to just expand a little on your sticky and loyal thing. So I had a conversation. I do a podcast with a gentleman named Matthew Parker. He's the Profitable Print Relationship is his company, and we were both print buyers, and we have conversations all the time about helping printers create and strengthen relationships with print customers, and also anybody with customers can obviously get something out of this. But we actually had a conversation about the difference between stickiness and loyalty. And what we decided, or how after the conversation, how we kind of wrapped it up, was that you're loyal to a person. So the print rep that I work with, I'm loyal to. And if that person moves to another company, more than likely, if I'm loyal to them in some manner, I will try to work with them. Mm-hmm. I'm sticky to the process. I am not undoing a portal to move my work to my friend who's now at another print shop. I am not going to redo all of that, send people new information, give them a different process. No way in hell. So I become loyal then to that business that has the process, of course, unless there's a catastrophe and that person who's now who I'm supposed to be loyal to is not helping me, then I might consider it. But it is going to have to be something so monumental to undo all of the customer convenience and all of the things that we started this podcast off speaking about, just because a guy or a woman who answers the phone and is always there for me, to move that work. And you know what? They're going to understand that. And I'm going to say to them, let's build a relationship if we can, through the things that your company does best. Or we can start a new client through your system. But I am not undoing what I already have. I'm sticky to that process, which I think is really important because it's about the print shops investing and letting their customers know how they truly are offering customer convenience. And I'll tell you, the moment you realize it's not happening is when it's not happening and it's happening somewhere else. For example, just very quickly, I travel often, so I make sure that I have, TSA and global entry and things like that. And I don't think about it. I just go on the TSA line until the TSA line is closed, right? Then I'm like, is this the experience that people are having at the airport? Like, how are they functioning on a 2-hour line, taking off their damn shoes every 5 minutes? So you really
get used to it.
Deborah,
when it works, it works.
I almost broke up with a guy because the first trip we went on, I'm like, I'm not gonna stand in the line at O'Hare. Are you out of your mind? And he's like, well, and I'm like, I'm not going to take my laptop and my shoes off. That's insane. I said, I'll meet you at the gate.
I did the same thing. I'm like, good luck. I'll be getting a coffee, but you just meet me over there.
I said, call me when you get to the United Club by our gate because I'll come down and get you. Because if it's not simple, listen, I totally understand. And it's a very small thing, but it makes such a huge difference. And to kind of circle it all back, back what we were talking about, the print that's dying, when it is just ink on paper and when it's just people charging you for, hey, this many pieces of paper and this much ink and toner and whatever, then it's commodity. Then that's not the type of business we're in. We're in a very, very different business these days. And that's what we try to even sell our customers on is, hey, if you're not doing it, a lot of your competitors are.
Right.
And they're gonna keep the business or they're gonna take business from you. So
it's not just the print applications that are antiquated, it's the processes. And this is more important, right? You have to assume that everybody can print a business card. But how easy is it for me to buy that business card from you? And here's an example. Last year, I was going to a trade show or something and I needed to get something printed. It wasn't a large quantity. I could have gone through a FedEx office or Staples or a local franchise. I could have done that, but I looked to see some of the, the printers that I, know in the neighborhood. And
one of the 33,000 connections on LinkedIn that you have.
Well, I'm just saying, I try to keep it local, and then other than that, I could just pick it up when I was there. And they told me that they didn't have a process for me to give them a credit card. I was like, what?
Pass.
Yeah.
They're everything we do is through POs and billing. So you'll get an invoice from us. And I was like, what? I didn't even understand what I was being told. I was like,
do I go online then to pay the invoice that you sent me?
I'm like,
write a cashier's check.
Yes, it was a check mail system. No. And I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't own a checkbook anymore.
I don't either.
I mean, I have when I first had a business account, they gave me some checks. They're still sitting there 001 is still in there,
No, it's so true. These days there are just table stake applications and table stake technology that you just need. And I really think, circling back to your point about stickiness and stickiness then driving loyalty, if you're not creating stickiness now, think about all those customers who are clients who are, and then they're going to have those customers indefinitely unless, there's a huge mess up. And I think if you're not looking as, a printer or a mail shop into different pieces of technology to drive that stickiness, just to give an example, we're working with a few pretty big print and mail shops, and they're going after larger and larger clients. They're trying to get to that next level and start really working with those Fortune 500 companies. And one thing they came to us with, they were like, Caitlin, we are losing these RFPs. We are losing deals because they're asking us for a client-facing dashboard. They want to be able to log in, submit.
They want to track the pizza.
See their proofs.
What a shock!
Pizza. And we were like, you guys, well, of course we can do this. But I've now had, I think, 3 or 4 customers just in the last year come to me and say, we've got to figure this out. And it's because clients are demanding it. And it creates stickier client relationships. No one wants to be sending proofs via email back and forth, tracking all those changes. No, they just want to go in a portal and add some comments. I mean, there's just customer experience opportunities here that I think are low-hanging fruit for a lot of print shops.
100%. And it even goes beyond that. It's making sure that the right new approved logo is in that folder so that everyone's using the right logo, and that the last image of the hotel from the photo shoot is in there, and the press release for the new chief operating officer is there, and there's some social media information. And the last thing I want to say about the process is, or this to the printers out there, estimates are the new living hell for print customers. And that is because a lot of people who did estimation as human beings in their jobs, they're not around anymore. So with the fluctuating prices of paper and energy and things, and there's tons of printers who are just spewing out estimates, and their jobs are not ending up profitable, or not as profitable as they could be. But the bigger issue here, back to customer convenience, is, what do you mean I have to wait 3 days for an estimate?
Exactly.
Worst story I heard was a printer who was telling their salespeople 30 days for an estimate. So you can't accept any work that's due, that they can't wait 30 days for an estimate. And by the way, ended up quitting the job, because how are they supposed to make any money?
Yeah.
But to your Domino's example, go on Vistaprint, go on any online system, and it shows you a price right there. Now, I'm not saying you have as many options. I'm not saying that you're still sending files blindly into something. I'm not knocking online printers at all. There's a different process. If it's something that isn't color critical or things like that, and you just need a price and to get it out, this is a great way to go. But if you want to have a long-term, loyal and sticky relationship with people, you have to meet the customer needs. And whether people still want to frame it as an Amazon world, that's fine with me. But the point is that I've ordered things from a red light in my car, and they're there the next morning.
Same.
Totally.
Or that night. The new thing, if you...
Yes!
How much stuff I
the other
bought?
day.
Do you know how much extra stuff I bought just to make sure I get it by the end of the day?
Exactly.
We have a $25 threshold.
No, but that is such an amazing point. Add a finish and you can get it today.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm going to steal that from you, Anna.
Happy to help. Okay. You guys, we could talk forever. I just glanced at the clock, so I just wanted to make sure that we're being respectful of everybody's time. Obviously, Deborah, we're going to have you on again, because we have to keep talking. This has been such an incredible conversation. Caitlin, I think you'd agree with me.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you again, Deborah, for joining us here on Two Blondes and a Printer. I guess
I'm more than happy to support my fellow podcasters and my fellow girls who print. And I just want to thank you so much. And you invite me back as much as you want. This was a great experience.
Wonderful. Yeah, speaking of experience, so we have to ask you, like we ask all of our guests, what do you think the sexy side of print is?
I think that if the printing industry starts looking at print more like a digital marketing tool, and realizes that it can be part of a pragmatic relationship with somebody. It could be part of a predictive relationship with somebody. What I mean by that is, if I'm a new parent or a grandparent or anything like that, and I go into a baby clothing store and I buy 3-month clothing, there's a pretty good chance.
It's a data point for you. Let's capitalize on that.
Right? What is the next size clothing I'm going to need? And the store owner is the expert in when people start buying that clothing. I know that my niece has a new baby and she's like 5 months old, and they're like, no, you don't buy 6-month clothes now. You got to go to 12 and the kid will grow into it, right? So if I would start getting information about, 12-month specials or something along those lines. I mean, obviously there's a lot of seasonal stuff there, but you can address all of that. So that is what I think is really sexy about print, is that it's really nimble and could be a strategic tool if it's used properly and you have the right processes and automation and power of software behind a lot of those things.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it so much. Caitlin, what do you think?
I mean, I just think, to reiterate, there's going to be this beautiful sort of marrying of knowledge. Like, you're that client or that small business owner who's so knowledgeable about baby clothes, and you're going to marry that with all of these data points you have on your customers. And then you're going to find the right technology in the process to drive communications out and increase sales. And I think a great way to do that is by finding a print and mail communications partner to work with to drive your message forward and grow your revenue as a business.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, cheers to that.
I know. As we all sign off here, of course, we do our little cheers. So cheers, everybody. Chin, chin.
Oh, you guys are drinking. I have iced coffee. No fair. I don't want to tell anybody what time it is, but ladies,
I will admit this is water with a little bit of lime juice in it.
Yeah, sure, Anna. Right? Yeah,
mine is wine.
Thank you for being honest about that.
Great. Well, as we sign off, if you know anyone who you think we should talk to, or if you want to just get on here and have a drink with us and talk everything print with us, you can always contact us at 2blondesandaprinter@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. Until next time, everybody, we love having you and have a magical day. And Deborah, we'll let you get back to the Printiverse.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.